Rick, let's get this.
We were talking off camera a moment ago about another topic, and you and I got down the road on discussing it. We thought, well, we just ought to turn the camera on and finish up the discussion. So I was talking about the idea of how difficult it is for us to coexist with things that we find not fun, not good, not good in quotes, not how we perceive good to be. Coexisting with bad things in the world, things that are bad, right? Okay. Now, there is evil in the world. There's no doubt about it. Most people, however, are struggling with not evil. They're just struggling with their day-to-day stuff, but they have an appetite for things which takes them out of actually dealing with the issue. By that, I mean, you substitute, for example, by material things because it gives you a sense of power, a sense of escape, a sense of well-being, in fact. You forget about being kind because you don't want to be kind first. You want the other person to be kind to you first, and then they will have earned the right, the right to claim from you kindness. You know, those things are strategies which don't work. There's an appetite for people wanting peace, but they don't have any kind of direction about how to get it. So one of the major issues that I struggled with for years had to do with how do I deal with and be coexistent with things that I find repugnant, that I don't like, whether it's traffic or like the song says, the bee sting or the dog bite. Those things exist in the world, okay? Those things exist in the world, always will. I can't change them. And that is, to a large extent, most of everything that exists is something you can't change. And it's also something that is prevalent and will always exist. So getting to the point of coexistence where you are able to accept what is out there, the fellow who's going to cut you off in traffic, the person who's going to think you're an idiot for your political beliefs, the people who don't trust you, don't think that you're true, don't think that you're honest, don't think that you're fill in the blank. They're always going to be there. So I think that one of the major strategies that we need as human beings is to have a sense of equanimity. We've talked about this before, the sense that there's circumstances all the time, all the time. It's like a fan in front of a manure pile, and that fan is is shooting manure at you all the time. That's part of what life is. There's also the joy. The fan turns off, it's Christmas morning, and it may be like that for days and days. But my point is that it's an ebb and flow. The good, the bad, whatever we call the good, whatever we call the bad, two sides of the same coin. And you have to coexist. We have to understand that two sides of the same coin is what coexistence means. And that's part of this first step in recognizing and accepting that we are coexisting with things that we can't change and things that we don't like and things that we struggle with. It's in the world, therefore, it's in the world, and therefore, it cannot be taken away by your willing it otherwise.
Rick, I love that, man. What a great topic, coexisting with what you don't want. I just really, really like that. You said so much there. One of the things that really stayed with me is that, people saying that they, want peace, but everything that they're doing is not leading to peace. So for example, you can be, I think, like upset about bad things that are happening, and this is your definition of what's bad. But when you get angry or internally, or you or express it and yelling at other people or whatever, your actions are contributing to peace, which is what you say you want. Like you're fighting, but you're but the whole thing about fighting is opposite of being peaceful or leading to peace or contributing to it. And it's so hard to get your mind around it. Like the very thing that you're fighting for is the very thing that you're not creating through your actions, so it's really hard. And so how do you coexist with that? And I think what you said is right aligned with this thought, is that you begin with acceptance of this is at this moment is beyond my control. And that life is going to have the joys and it's going to have the unpleasantness that's there. And so how do you stay rooted in a place that you can handle both? Like how can you handle both? Like what most people do, oh, they can handle the joy. Oh yeah. They can't handle the other, you know? And so how do you become a person that you don't need the joy and you don't need the unpleasantness to be a certain way for you to be okay inside? So the crazy person, which is used to be Keith 1.0, the way that he would go with it is he would try to manipulate this over here so he could have more joy, sustainable joy. And then he manipulate the unpleasantness to make it not so unpleasant, which never worked, you know, at least not over long term, so that I would feel okay inside. Neither one of them works. There's no equanimity, as you said. So the work, once you become aware of that, at least I did, the work became, I want to be okay whether joy is present in the moment or whether the unpleasantness is present in the moment. I want to be okay no matter what shows up.
That's exactly right, Keith.
Show me how to do that.
Okay.
Show me how to do that.
And the answer is you start to do that by first recognizing that you're fighting a battle that you can't win. And secondly, you have to recognize that there are things you can change and you can't do anything about them. Deal with the ones you can. But then most importantly, I think you have to realize that the way that you handle most everything in life has to do with accepting, but not accepting to a degree where you're mindful of your own judgment about it. Okay, now this is a hard concept to get. I don't believe that there's any absolutes in life. I think everything's gray. Pretty much everything is gray. You have to accept, whether you believe it's black and white or gray, that there are things that you have judgments about. They're good or they're bad. If you could get to the point where in every moment, or at least try it for 5 minutes, maybe not every moment of your life, but try it for the next 5 minutes, where you don't judge whether something is good or bad. You're present, you're mindful, you know what's going on, you appreciate the circumstance, and by appreciate, I mean comprehend the circumstance, but you're not judging it. You're not judging good, bad. Keith's look, I don't like. There's something about it that's threatening. I don't want any part of that guy. That's a judgment. Or Keith looks great today. I really love that goatee, man. That's so cool. That's a judgment. What about getting to the point where you just look at Keith and you just experience whatever Keithness is? So if you could apply that to as many moments as you can get, you can train yourself to have, you get to the habit where you're not judging. And the judgment is the killer.
Yes.
That's the killer for not accepting judging. If only you were more like me, I wouldn't have to get angry at you. See? So my idea is mindfulness really requires the component of self-examination in the moment. And in that moment, you're aware, completely aware of what's going on. But the key is there's no judgment about it. It's not good or bad. It's just there. It's just there. You're coexisting with that moment in life. Exactly. Now, you put a bunch of those moments together, that's inner peace.
100%, 100%. You know, solid gold, Rick. Solid gold. Thank you.
Well, it works. I mean, it makes sense because it honestly works. If you can get rid of your damn judgment, things open up. You can hold space for so many other things and for kindness and compassion for other people.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Off my soapbox.
I completely agree, man. I think the judgment is the killer here. And one of the things that helped me with the judgment is something I came up with, which was whenever my mind, and I am not my mind, I am in here, whatever here is, I'm in here watching my mind do all this crazy, insane, erratic behavior, thought, a judgment like this, I don't like this, why they doing this, all this crazy behavior. I'm the observer. But most people don't even know that they are not that jumping around at erratic behavior. They have no idea. So when my mind does that and it tries to pull me in, what I say is, as the observer, no comment. The minute that I say no comment,
That's great, Keith.
it frees me up, man.
That's great.
And so I say no comment all the time, like all the time. Now I've been practicing it for a while now. I set this out about 2 years ago to do this because I noticed that, man, I'm still struggling with this judgment. And I would become aware that in the way I become aware is I feel suffering. Like I feel myself like, man, I don't like what happened out of nowhere. I felt like, like 5 minutes has passed, an hour has passed, and I'm like, I'm somewhere else. Like literally I'm in the same spot physically, but I can't even account for the last hour because my mind has been taking me on this ride somewhere else and didn't even like, I wasn't even consented. I was like thrown in, thrown in the car. Next, I come to, I'm like, where am I? Like, oh my God. And then those black op moments where I was being captured and thrown in the van, they get shorter and shorter because I bring awareness back to it closer. And then I figured out, like, how do I not get in the van in the first place? The minute that it says something and they start to put the hood over my head, I stop and say, no comment. And then it disappears.
Yeah, there you go.
Judgment, everything is gone. Like it's been the most effective way that I came up with for me. The minute that it wants to say something, coworker saying something, no comment. Somebody, no comment. Something, no comment. This happened, nope, this comment. They said no, this comment. I can't believe that, no comment. Like everything, and then it falls away. And when it falls away, then I'm okay with everything. Like I set out also, I noticed that this was years ago, that I was living for the weekend. Like, I can't wait till it's Friday. Man, if I live to be, let's say the average age is 80. If I live to be 80, and right now I'm 52. So if I live another 28 years, and I'm living every day waiting for it to be the weekend, you know how much life I'm giving up, living, like suffering the other days? That's a lot. So I said to myself, I want to get to the point, and to your point, Rick, of equanimity. Not like whether it's joy, whether it's unpleasantness, it's okay with me. Like whatever it is, it is. How do I get to the point to where Friday and Saturday, like Monday feels like Friday and Saturday? How do I do that? Like that, I started asking a different question. Not, can we have more days? Can we have more Saturdays? No, you're not getting more Saturdays. But what you can do is change inside, work on yourself inside, so that Monday feels like Saturday to you. How do I get to, man, I can't wait to get on this vacation and get away to Hawaii and this and that. Why not make every day feel like Hawaii? Like period. Like seriously, like why not work on that? So wherever you are, it's okay. It's okay. Like Eckhart Tolle tells the story about the Zen master. And it was like, what is the key to you being so peaceful? The Zen master says, I don't mind what happens.
That's it.
Like, wow. Like, and then getting to that point, but you have to stay rooted there. And for me, because the mind is going to kick in with that default setting, just as you astutely mentioned, Rick. And for me to not get pulled into that judgment, that default setting, it comes back to no comment. And I'm saying that to my mind every time it does this thing. People do it when the world has things to say to them and is pulling them. No. The world is just the world. No, you need to. You got an enemy amongst you. Like it's the enemy within. That's who you need to be watching out to. It's not this group of people, whether they're right, left. It's not them. It's that thing inside that's talking all the time and that won't stop. The other thing too, in terms of all of the growth that I have experienced, or this expanded capacity inner peace, what led to it for me was suffering. I got to the point where I said, I don't want to spend another day wishing that Monday was Saturday. I don't want to spend another day waking up like, here we go again. No, I don't want another day of that. Like I was so obsessive thinking, the kind of thinking that at the end of it, you feel drained. I didn't want to spend another day like that. So my suffering became my teacher. And what that meant was, which is for me, has been a game changer, is because my suffering led me to this, I became aware or conscious of that all of the growth happened in the unpleasantness of it. That part of the spectrum. It didn't happen on the joy. I love the joy, but in terms of the expanded capacity to have an open heart, it came when my mind told me, no, we're closing this time. No, but I said, no, we're going to be unconditional with an open heart. I know we said that, but this is different. No, it was when I pushed through, when it said it was different, that unpleasantness that expanded. And through that expansion, guess what I got? More joy. Like I got to have more joy.
That's right. That's right. Keith, that's solid gold, baby. That's really, really powerful. That's exactly what happens. It's the idea that there's a lot of suffering. You have to get leverage on yourself to take a look at what the hell you're doing wrong. And one of the things you're going to realize right away is that you're judging everybody and everything, including yourself. And just being present without judgment is an enormous improvement that leads to inner peace. It wipes out all of that complicated crap that's taking up so much room in your heart and allows you to hold space for compassion and love, appreciation, joy, and wonder. God, I just love being with you, man. We could do this for like an hour and a half. Right?
I love it too, Rick, man. I love it, man. So thank you for today, man. And the topic, incredible. And so thank you for the topic, coexisting with the things you don't want. Oh, and that could be in so many forms: a divorce, it could be losing a significant other, it could be financial difficulty, like learning to be with that. Oh, wow. It's beautiful, Rick. Thank you.
You're welcome, Keith. Thanks for including me. Adios.
Adios. I love you.